Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn, and welcome to the Soulful Voices Circle Daily Oracle Card Reading. Today is Sunday, May 29th, 2022. We are about to begin a new week, and coincidentally, or coinciding, I should say, with this new week is also a new moon, which I believe comes in tomorrow evening at some point, or at some point tomorrow. So, with that in mind, let us do a reading about what it is that we need to understand about this upcoming energy that's kind of going to be holding us over the course of the next few days. So, the card we pull today is kind of going to signal how we go into the week and what might be ahead of us in terms of the energy of the universal forces around us. Okay, so let us, again, we continue with the Akashic Tarot, and tomorrow I will more than likely find another deck that we're going to work with over the next few days. So let us focus on our breathing. Before I actually get into the closing of the eyes, well, for me, closing my eyes, actually, I would like for you all to close your eyes right now. And before you just begin your deep breaths, I want you to focus on releasing for the next couple of seconds the thing that you were thinking about right before you started to listen to this reading. Release that thought. Now, unless the unless the thought that you want to focus on is the thought you were having before we begin this reading, allow a new thought, something that you want to focus on in the coming days, to come into your mind. And then as you breathe in, I want you to exhale out that thought and any expectations you may attach to it. Okay? So we're surrendering the thought, we're releasing it. We are bringing it into our systems, our minds, as something we want to focus on or manifest, or intentions we want to put into play over the next few days. And then we're going to surrender it to the universe so that the universe can do its magic, right? Because as we talk about new week, new moon is about setting new intentions. Okay, so now let's close our eyes. Make sure your eyes are closed and just relax your shoulders and your neck, everything. Just try to really relax and ground yourself into this reading. And take your first deep inhale. Nice and strong, and slowly release that on the exhale. Another deep inhale. And exhale out. You should be beginning to feel a sense of relaxation. Maybe the tension in your face is just loosening up a little bit if you felt tense coming in to this reading. Let's take one more deep inhale. Push this breath into your heart on the exhale. At this time, I invite our angels and guides to come forward, as well as the spirit of the Akashic Tarot, to share with us the wisdom and guidance that we need to hear and understand today about the energy that will be holding us over the next few days. I ask the divine light to cut any cords we may have to the expectations and ideas of how things should unfold for us. that those cords be severed so that we can enter into this week with a renewed sense of allowance of the universe to help us at this time, a renewed sense of trust in the universe. And I ask the divine light to surround us and cover us with its golden light of protection, keeping us safe from any lower or negative energies that might be trying to attach to this reading today. And I thank the angels and guides and the divine light for the wisdom and guidance we are about to receive. Take another deep inhale. Really inhale deeply and slowly exhale. And at this time, I'm going to open my eyes and begin the reading. You may stay with your eyes closed, focusing on your breath if you so choose. Okay, so what is it that we need to understand about the energy that is coming in and that will be holding us over the next few days? Okay, so I'm fanning out these cards here. What is it that we need to know? Yes, I'm talking to the cards, asking them what we need to know and understand. I talk to the cards all the time. Feel something right about here. Feel a couple cards coming out, but I'm going to shuffle these couple of cards because I think they're more sticking together and weighing the energy on them. This is our card, and it is the King of Forces in the reversed position. The King of Forces. Okay, so let's look at the picture here. We have a man standing in the middle of a field or forest. He's surrounded by trees, and there's a river or a little creek running through it, and he has animals around him. There's a rabbit, a wolf, a deer. Looks like is that a stag? I think no, I don't know what kind of deer. It's a deer, and there's a lot of green around him. But in the background, you can see an energy behind him. It is a purplish blue, indigo, violet with a reddish tone, and you can see the night of the moon peeking through, right? The moon coming through. Something is coming through. And so he seems to be looking outward and reflecting into something in the future. So I believe that he looks very contemplative at this point, and that's what the forces is, right? It's that inner kind of energy. Again, I think we pulled the forces card on Friday, which was our first signal throughout the week, actually, of this idea of going inward. So that's what I see with the King of Forces. So my guess is that the message we're about to receive is about continued contemplation and perhaps then figuring out a way of how we take all these things that we are alchemizing and coming to understand and actually put them into the world, right? Because he seems to be looking out towards something. All right. So, King of Forces, let's see what the book has to say. Let me take a little sip of water and go from there. King of Forces. Okay. Sorry, it's taken me a minute to find that section again. if I planned the readings. In other words, if I had picked a card beforehand, then I would just have it ready. But since we are doing this on the spot for a very accurate reading as to the energy that I'm receiving in that moment, that's why it takes a little bit longer. The King of Forces. All righty. Five of Forces, seven. All right. In reversed. The card's reversal represents a time of depleted forces, inertia, or scattered energy. It could indicate a divorce or separation from or for the King of Forces. Career-wise, there may be the loss of a position for someone in an industry natural to the King of Forces, as listed above. So what are those industries as listed above? That must be what is in the upright position. Let's see if I could find that. I actually don't see that right now, so I'm not sure. Oh, it says King of Forces such as electronics, astronomy, physics, geology, alternative fuel, any of the earth sciences, and new industries and environmental care. Well, that's interesting that there would be a um, a job loss in those areas, which, as I read into this energy, it could be that we are about to encounter a major decline in some type of technology. Perhaps something technological is becoming limited. I don't know if this means that there is going to be an interruption of technology at some point in the next few days, or if there's just going to be a downswing in the stocks of the profitability in the area of technology. I'm not off the top of my head, I don't know of any new reports that are coming out, but this seems to be the energy. So when something big like that happens, obviously it trickles down to us as individuals. So even if we're not in those industries, there will be people who are in the industries who will be impacted by this. But if it if it's a major technology issue that is at the fore here, then we will all be impacted because our society has become so reliant on technology. So let's kind of tune into what we see going on over the next couple of days in regards to that and prepare yourself. Maybe have some battery backups, or maybe take out a little bit of cash just in case there are some banking issues that come up in terms of not being able to access cash through ATMs for a day or two. I'm sorry, I don't like putting messages like this out. I hope that the energy that's coming in here doesn't have to do with that, but it could. So it's really just a message of don't get scared, get prepared, right? I think last week the message was don't be fearful, be careful. This week is don't get scared, be prepared. Okay, so that's what I'm getting right off the bat there. And then it says, this card could also indicate a man with disruptive energy. He may be out of balance in his own life, which imbalances you as well. Sometimes there are obvious signs of negativity, such as anger, hostility, or even an abiding depression. Other times, the vibration may be subtle and hard to recognize, but he is likely to be selfish or self absorbed. Be conscious and aware, for he could be very charming on the surface, yet manipulative underneath. Wow. If this card indicates a potential love interest or business partner, take your time in assessing the true vibrations he is sending out. He may just need time to right himself, but you may also need to move on. Okay, so before I read the Akashic Force, there are lots of messages coming to me right now, so I'm going to try to focus in on one or two of them. Okay. So if you have a business partner and you notice that something seems off about them, maybe they're really like in the office and they're projecting something that you're not used to seeing them with, or you've only seen occasionally with this person, but it's really creating a disruption in the environment. Be prepared to go inward and to reflect on this reading and to say, okay, I understand that this person is going through something right now, but it doesn't mean that they can abuse me or take advantage of me, right? Or belittle me. So you don't want that type of toxic energy to come in. And if you see it coming in, certainly put up a boundary, even if it's in an office, even if it's to a superior, because nobody has a right to demean you or degrade you and speak to you in a way that is not respectful. And to allow that to happen opens the door for them to do this in the future. So you want to try to the best of your ability to politely address it and set the boundary. Okay, so recognize that there will be this kind of energy. You may see that the masculine energy is on the rise in a more disruptive way this week. So even if it's not a man per se that is disrupting the environment, but it seems like it probably will be more men doing this than women doing this. Um, that you want it could just be the masculine energy. So it could be that more people are being much more assertive and abrupt. Okay, and you want to kind of say, okay, no, thank you. I'm not in this today with you. Please go take whatever time you need. And, again, creating that polite, compassionate boundary. Try not to get into arguments with these people. If you come across these people, try not to get into these arguments. Now, that's in business. The same rule actually applies even in relationships, but there's a little bit of a different twist here in relationships. In relationships, especially if it's a newer relationship, it may be the first time that you are seeing this side of a person that you have been dating them for a short period of time, or even if it's just a few months, and you say, well, I've been dating this person a few months. In the big picture, that's not a super long time to get to really understand the vacillations of people's moods and what they go through, especially if anybody suffers from any kind of seasonal depression or seasonal mania or any kind of mental illness that could be impacted by the shifting of the weather and the changes outside. And so when you see this side of the person that you may not have seen before, you just want to pause and really not rush to step into anything petulant or impulsive that they may be putting on the table for you to swallow. And chances are, if you step back and say, you're not sure, that may very well be met with hostility. And so be prepared that you may need to kind of balance your own energy and be non reactive and allow time for the situation to settle and then unfold again. You can address the situation once the person has come down. So we are going to have this disruptive kind of energy. So I kind of want to try to tie some of this together. If there is a big downswing in technology or something really disruptive does happen in our society over the next couple of days with technology. And I'm not saying it is, I'm saying that the energy is ripe for it, meaning that there are certain factors, if triggered, may actually bring this into play. So we want to be cognizant that this is a potential of what could come. that these things are really going to affect the primary people who are in those industries. And it appears that many of that these industries may be packed more with the male gender now, or the male um, masculine energy. And so I, again, don't want to make a prediction that this is coming to pass 100%, but understand that the energy is ripe for it to happen. So if you feel this kind of uproar just kind of brewing around you, you the focus has to be on balancing your own energy so that you can cope with and kind of be flexible, not meaning giving into the people or persons who are person who is doing this, but be flexible in terms of how you can navigate through these turbulent waters. And the fact that we have here, and also it says divorce or separation. So if you've been in a very rocky relationship, it is possible that something may come about in the next few days that is really going to be the cow that the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. Okay, so again, just be mindful and be prepared that if you have been in that type of turbulent relationship, that you put together the resources that you need to be able to walk away if necessary. Even if that means just calling a family member or a friend and saying to them that you may need a place to stay for a little while, asking them if that would be okay, because that will at least give you some level of preparedness and safety. Okay, and that doesn't mean that necessarily that the person is abusive. It could be an abusive situation which you want to try to get out of ASAP. But even if it's not an abusive situation, but it's a situation where the marriage just isn't working and perhaps there's a lot of arguing going on and so on, then you want to try to have a safe place to go in case you need to do that. And then it also says recognize that this could indicate a man with disruptive energy because that person is out of balance in his own life. So when people are not feeling well, and it does talk about depression, so it's possible that if you know somebody who is depressed right now, that this may really bubble up in the next couple of days again because the energy is ripe. They are trying to work through and shed away whatever it is that is disturbing them. And so, if you believe that you might be able to assist them to help to balance them out, if you think you can be a support to this person instead of being reactionary to their energy, trying to figure out what can I do to maybe support them so they don't feel like they're not alone, then fine, go ahead and do that. But the energy, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, is saying to me right now to just kind of take a step back and allow them to go through their process and protect yourself. Okay? And again, protect yourself from being the person who they lash out at with anger or any kind of derogatory commentary. And if they do it anyway, in spite of your backing off, try to put it aside, address it, but put it aside and go back to it at another time in a compassionate way to let this person know that you do not like what they did or said to you. So we always want to remain true to ourselves. We want to stay in our integrity. We want to do what is the highest good for ourselves and the people around us, the people that we love. Okay? So again, just be prepared. Just be prepared that there's some turbulence in the air over the next few days. That being said, I will be sending out my love and my healing energy, and I will be doing whatever I can to help ease some of the turbulence that might be going on in the universe right now. Yes, I know it sounds a little nutty, right? I'm one person. How can I shift the universe? Each one of us that shifts our own energy helps to balance out the energy more. And if somebody sees that you're balanced, while initially they may try to come at you because misery loves company and they want to pull the rug from underneath you, they want to make you go off balance so they can now go in and try to, attack in some way. Try to stay in your center. Try to stay centered and balanced and know that you didn't do anything, that they are the people who are experiencing the turbulence. Now, I say you didn't do anything as long as you're not purposely going out of your way to provoke them. So, again, you want to stay in balance, you want to remain compassionate, you want to set boundaries where needed, and just allow yourself to be in the flow of everything that is happening, to be flexible. And if you need to step away, then step away. You can come back, but step away for a little while. So I'm sending you so much love. I hope you enjoy the next couple of days if you are off and celebrating Memorial Day. And I will see you back here tomorrow. You take care. Bye bye.